All right, welcome to the Explainer. For as long as we've been around, humans have been searching for something more, right? A deeper meaning, a connection to the big picture. And today, we're going to explore that search, specifically how a physical place can totally transform us on the inside. So, let's really get into this. Have you ever walked into a place and just felt it? That sense of awe, that feeling that a place is different, special, sacred even. What is that? We're going to look at that profound pull certain locations have on us, whether it's a massive mountain or just a quiet spot in your own house. All right, so first up, the mountaintop calling. Our journey really kicks off by trying to answer that call. First things first, we need to figure out what actually makes a place sacred. And what's the point of that feeling anyway? Okay, so here's the fundamental concept. A sacred space is basically any location we decide is holy or spiritually important. But here's the crucial part. It's not the dirt or the rocks themselves that are magical. A place becomes sacred because we distinguish it from the everyday. It's our beliefs, our rituals, our stories that give it that power. We're the ones who flip the switch, And I love this way of thinking about it. A sacred place acts like a focusing lens. It's like an environment that's almost perfectly designed to help us tune out all the static of daily life. It concentrates our attention so we can start to see and feel a much deeper meaning. Okay, so if we're the ones who create sacredness through our beliefs, let's see how that looks on a massive, global scale. We're about to explore this incredible tapestry of belief, all woven around what you might call the ultimate sacred spaces, mountains. And we're going to start right at the top, literally. This right here is Mount Kailash in Tibet, and it is one of the most sacred mountains on the entire planet. It's just this perfect example of how one single, jaw-droppingly awesome place can become a spiritual center for totally different faiths. And check this out, this is where that idea just clicks into place. For Hindus, Mount Kailash is the home of Lord Shiva himself. We're talking the cosmic center of the universe. But for Tibetan Buddhists, it's the home of Buddha Demchok, a symbol of perfect harmony. See? Same mountain, same incredible power, just seen through two different, beautiful lenses of belief. And this isn't just about Kailash, not at all. Look at this. It's a whole world of sacred peaks. You've got Mount Sinai, where Moses received the Ten Commandments. You've got Mount Fuji in Japan, a gateway to enlightenment. This reverence for high places, it's a truly human thing. It's global. Every single one of these peaks is a story, a bridge between us down here and something much, much bigger. All right, so we get the places, right? We see why they're so special. But now let's switch gears and talk about the people. In this next part, we're asking, why do we even bother making these long, hard journeys? Why does the journey itself become the real destination? So what's really pushing people to go on these trips today? Yeah, sure, some of the ancient reasons are still there, but a lot of modern pilgrimages, they're really a reaction to the stress of our lives. People go when they're in the middle of a crisis, or when they just feel totally stuck, or maybe they're just looking for a connection that's deeper than a Wi-Fi signal. And man, this quote it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Going on a pilgrimage is a chance to step away from the chaos of our schedules and the humdrum of our routines. It's you deliberately deciding to hit the reset button. You create that space, that distance, just so you can finally see your own life with fresh eyes. Which naturally brings us to the how, right? How does taking a long walk actually change you on the inside? Well, it's not magic, not at all. It's actually this really powerful psycho-spiritual process that shows how the journey on the outside literally rearranges the landscape on the inside. And it really breaks down into this surprisingly simple but super profound three-step process. Okay, so step one, the pure physical challenge of it all that builds up your resilience. Step two, you're completely immersed in nature, which calms your whole system down. And then step three, those first two things come together to create the perfect headspace for real mental clarity. And get this, there's actual science behind this. You know that feeling pilgrims talk about? That feeling of your problems just kind of losing their weight step by step? That's not just poetry. Turns out, sustained walking, like you do on a pilgrimage, has been shown to literally reduce activity in the part of your brain that's linked to all that negative, looping, obsessive thinking. The payoff is physical, too. I mean, your body's chemistry actually shifts. The levels of cortisol, that's your main stress hormone, they go down. And at the exact same time, your brain starts pumping out more endorphins, the happiness chemicals. You are literally physically rewiring yourself for a state of peace. Okay, so we've climbed the mountaintop. We've peeked inside the brain. Now for this last part of our journey together, let's bring it all back home. Let's talk about finding the sacred within and how you can take these big lessons from the mountain and use them in your everyday life. And this is the big takeaway right here. The power of a sacred space has nothing to do with size or scale. The exact same principles that make Mount Fuji a gateway to enlightenment for a whole country, you can use those to create your own personal gateway to peace right in your own home. So, how do you actually do that? Well, you become the architect of your own little sanctuary. You find things that have real personal meaning to you. You bring in a bit of nature, a plant, some cool stones. You engage your senses, maybe a candle, some quiet music. And most importantly, you set a clear intention for that space. Maybe it's for peace or reflection. You make it a tech-free zone. And by doing that, you're building your very own container for transformation. Because in the end, that's what it's all about. The call of the sacred mountain, the long, winding pilgrimage path, the quiet temple, they're all just signposts. They're pointing us in one direction, inward. They're really just catalysts to get us to explore the huge, secret landscape that exists inside our own hearts. So the final question isn't about what mountain you're going to climb. It's, where will your journey begin?